Hi, I'm Kristen Elizabeth Clark. I'm standing on the Kidlit red carpet at the Newberry Caldecott Wilder Banquet. I have the great honor and privilege to be talking to Leonard Marcus. Leonard, welcome.
Hi, it's great to be here. Exciting evening.
It is a very exciting evening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, you are a children's historian, author of Dear Genius. You have a book on Caldecott, and this is new?
Yeah, it's coming out in August. It's called Randolph Caldecott, the Man Who Could Not Stop Drawing. And he was the man who invented the picture book as we know it. He not only was a good artist, a great artist, but he invented his own art form.
Was there anything in your research that you discovered that surprised you?
Well, he came from the Midlands of England and he had a baritone voice, so if you could speak to him, it would be like speaking to Ringo Starr. He had a great sense of humor, and he was a self-taught artist who was... The main thing was that he was coming of age at the time that other people were trying to invent the motion picture. And he simplified drawing in a way that was not typical of the Victorians of his era. He was trying to make pictures move across the page. So in a sense, the picture book for children is an early kind of motion picture.
What is it about children's literature that draws you in?
There are a number of things. One is that it's a kind of storytelling that's done in two languages, words and pictures, and I'm fascinated by the interplay between those two languages in the way that when we come to them as the reader, a third language forms in our own mind, and it's the imagination pulling it all together. So that's one thing. The other is that because the books are made primarily for children, they have to be in the clearest, most distilled form of expression possible. So, like poetry, they really get at the essence of things, as few other kinds of art and literature ever do.
You have some new projects, and a book coming out in China. Can you tell us about that?
Well, Dear Genius is a collection of the letters of a publisher named Ursula Nordstrom, who was really the visionary of children's literature of the last 50 years. She published Charlotte's Web, Goodnight Moon. She discovered Maurice Sendak when he was a young man in his early 20s doing the windows at FAO Schwartz, but with a great sketchbook that was, ripe for publication. And she published Shel Silverstein, and she published Harold and the Purple Crayon, Harriet the Spy, on and on and on and on. These were all books that were not only significant and wonderful in themselves, but they were also cutting edge in terms of what people thought a children's book could be like and could be about. So she was great, and she had a great sense of humor. She had a sort of Mae West sense of humor, and that comes through in her letters to all of her authors and writers. So you can see all these masterpieces, what we think of as the classics of children's literature, in the making, because these letters are her working with these people toward the final book that we all came to know. Now, this book is being published this year in the People's Republic of China. China has a very long history, and a complex one that swings back and forth in terms of its interest or lack of interest in what's going on in the West. But now they're looking toward us again, and they see Ursula as a teacher, I think. So just as Maurice Sendak thought of her as a kind of mentor, it seems that Chinese artists will have the same opportunity now.
And one last question. If you could steal any object from the world of Kidlit, sort of like the fish stole the bigger fish's hat, and this is not my hat, what would that be and why?
I would maybe steal the telephone from the Great Green Room, because it would be easier to talk into than the smartphone that I currently have.
I love it. Thank you so much, Leonard Marcus. It's been an honor and a pleasure to talk to you.
You're welcome.